Hello, I am making a video today talking about how you can get into the mines without any previous experience. A lot of people have been asking me, and a lot of people want to know how to get into the mines with no experience, no previous qualifications or anything that can transfer over to the mining industry. Now, just keep in mind, having experience and being qualified in roles that are needed in the mines is much better than going in with nothing. They're going to take skilled labor over people that are new any day of the week, and that's just how they operate. But there are some roles that you can get into without prior mining experience or any experience to transfer over in general. Now, by the end of this video, you will know exactly what you have to do to be able to get into the mines without any mining experience. And if you follow this properly, you shouldn't have any problems. Now, when I first moved to Australia, it was very hard for me to get into the mines because I didn't have any qualifications. I didn't have anything that could help me get in the mining industry. I came from a crane background. I had cranes and rigging experience back in New Zealand, and I didn't have any of those tickets over here because the New Zealand standard and the Australian standard are different. So when I came to Australia, I was hoping to get a rigging job or a crane job in the mines, and I just wasn't getting any luck because none of my tickets transferred over. As much as that sucked, it took me a while to get all those tickets and finally be able to get into the mines with the job that I was doing back home. But some people don't have to do that. Some people don't have to have previous experience. Some people don't need to get all those tickets to be able to get your foot in the door. But for me, that was my job for the last 5 years. So I wanted to go into the mines as a rigger and crane operator. And that's what I've done. Now, hopefully you guys have previous experience or any type of roles that can help you get into the mines will definitely help. Now, if you don't, that's alright. There's a lot of entry-level roles out there, and I did do one of them as well. Underground drilling offsiting was one of the roles that I took, and that was a entry-level role, and it was probably good. It was good experience. Like, it was my first role in the mining industry, and it was good to be underground as well. Underground was insane. It's much different than what I'm doing now, which is surface mining. Underground is not for everyone. It is a very tough gig. Drillers offsiting entry level, and it's definitely not for most people. In my experience, I didn't really enjoy that job. I didn't mind it. If it was a job I had to do and you got paid pretty well, I would consider doing it. But for me, the pay wasn't good enough and it just wasn't my fit. I've been doing another trade for like 5 years, so it was better off to do that. So it took me months. It took me so long to get into the mines. I moved to Australia on my own. I didn't know anyone in the mining industry. I didn't know how to get in the mines. And it took me around 7 to 8 months to be able to get into the mining industry. And I was applying in New Zealand when I wasn't even over here. I was applying when I first got here, and I just applied non-stop. And I had heaps of hands-on labor experience in similar roles, and just no one was looking at me. And it was really, really frustrating. For months and months, I just couldn't get my foot in the door. No one would take me. I was calling up places. I was doing everything I possibly could to be able to get in the mines, and it just wasn't working. And to be honest, I thought they would take me because I've had a lot of experience before in a lot of labor intensive roles. I've had a lot of construction and all of these sorts of things, but they really do not care. And the reason they don't care is because you're presenting yourself the wrong way on paper. Now, the one thing that changed from me applying to these like 30, 40 roles, 50 roles, I was calling them up, I was doing everything I possibly could. The big difference was when I actually landed a role was my resume. Was literally my resume and my application, my Seek and LinkedIn profile where you apply for these roles, and also my resume wasn't up to scratch. It didn't have all the key details that the mining companies want to know. It wasn't getting past ATS systems, which an ATS system is an applicant tracking system. And these systems are in place to be able to scan hundreds of resumes and pick and choose which ones are fit for the role. And if yours doesn't get past ATS standard, then you're pretty much never going to get a mining job. So making sure you have a really good resume and a really good job application is much needed. Like, once I finally got my resume done, and I got it done by Jess, who works with us at FIFO Australia, she pretty much within the first week I got my resume done. I applied to all these roles and I got hit back 3 times within that 1 week, and I pretty much took the first drillers offsiting position that I could get. Now, fast forward a couple months, I decided that I wanted to go back to cranes. So I got all these tickets and everything that I needed for the crane industry, rigging tickets, all of that. and I was able to get a rigging role because I updated my resume again, and I managed to get into the mines as a rigger, crane operator, all of that sort of thing. Just that little change was pretty much me getting my resume and my job application sorted. That was a major one. But the other one that I also needed to make sure I was doing, because I was applying in New Zealand and I wasn't getting anywhere, was that I needed to be in Perth. I needed to be in a city that was actually taking applicants on. I couldn't be applying from New Zealand and expect to get picked up and then land a job straight away. I had to actually be in Perth. And the reason why you have to be in Perth, or whatever mining town that you're going to, whatever job you're going to, they're very particular about the area that you're staying in. You have to go there and do medicals. You have to go to the office and do your interviews. You have to be able to be in the area to be able to get your onboarding process done. So all your medicals, all your uniforms, all your interviews and everything, you need to be where the mining companies are hiring from. You can't expect to get a role from overseas. And I was really annoyed with that. I was trying to apply for places for ages and I just wasn't getting anywhere. But the actual problem was that I wasn't in the right city. I had to move to Perth and be able to apply to those roles. I couldn't apply for them when I was away. It just doesn't work like that, especially if you're going for entry level roles. No one will even look at you. So making sure that you're in the right city and the right place while you're applying to these roles is a fucking must. Like you have to have that in check, otherwise they're not even going to look at you. So make sure you're in a proper mining town that are going to be hiring, that have heaps of roles for mining, and you'll have a much better chance than a lot of other people. And you also want to make sure that you have all those right resume and job applications set up, your Seek and LinkedIn profiles as well. If you need help with that, FIFO Australia do that. I can link them down in the comment section where you can reach out to the team and they'll be able to help you out with your job applications. Now, the third thing is making sure you have the right tickets or qualifications or things required for the roles. A lot of these roles that you're applying for on Seek and LinkedIn and all of that, they have a lot of requirements. So you need to go through these requirements and make sure that you have the right things in place. And if you don't have these right things in place, you're never going to get picked up. So if they're asking for you to have a driver's license, for you to have your working at heights ticket, EWP, gas test and atmospheres, all of these things, if they're requiring you to have these tickets, then you need to go out there and invest in yourself and get these tickets. Most companies aren't going to pay for your qualifications and your tickets to be able to get these roles. There's hundreds of other people going for them that would have those tickets in place that are ready to go. So why are they going to choose you with no tickets, no good job applications, and you're not even in the right city or the right country as well? So those three are a must. There is a lot of entry roles out there that don't require tickets, and drilling and offsiting is one of them. And there's a lot of other entry level roles that you can see online like TA and all of those sorts of things, but some of them do actually require these tickets. So if you have no experience, make sure you go out there, you get these tickets in place that you're going for these roles specifically. Like some of the drillers offsiting roles, you need your HR, which is your heavy rigid truck license. You just need an auto. Sometimes you need a manual license. So make sure you do have the right licenses and qualifications for the jobs that you're applying for. Yes, they say entry level, but some of them do require these tickets. And it's not hard to get these tickets. I've spent so much of my own money, nearly 30,000, on getting all these tickets that I wanted to be able to be more employable and be able to put anywhere in my company. They can put me as a rigger, they can put me as a crane op, they can put me as a truck driver, they can put me as a scaffy, all of these things. So I got all of these things so I'm more employable and I can do multiple roles within my company. And that is much better. Once you have all three of those things in check, then it's very good. You're looking great on paper and companies are much willing to hire you if you have those things in place. Now, all of the things that I have just said previously, they will definitely help you be able to get past, but you need to make sure that if you do go for the medicals that you're going to be able to pass. Now the medicals aren't insane, they aren't crazy, they just test that you're fit and you're healthy and you're all good to work, that you have no body problems. Like if you have major injuries, it's very hard to be able to get into the mines. If you have a terminal sickness or any of those sorts of things, obviously it's a lot harder for you to pass those medicals. Make sure that you're able to pass the medicals before you go and apply for these roles. They aren't too strict. You'll be able to get past if you have pretty decent health and all of that. But just keep that in mind that companies do want to make sure that you are fit and ready to be able to do these roles. Don't let that put you off. please make sure that you are healthy, you are fit, you are in the right. Now, these simple tests will be done online. You can research them online about what's required. Some of them have been sit-ups and planks and push-ups and being able to lift things as well correctly with the right form. So all of these things are done in your medicals. They check your blood pressure, all of those sorts of things, just to make sure that you're healthy and you're pretty much good to go. Now, all four of those things, you won't have any trouble getting into the mines if you just follow those four things. So making sure you have a good resume, good job application, making sure you're in the right country is a must, or the right town that you're applying for these roles. Also making sure that you have the right tickets and qualifications for the job that you're applying to. That is a must. And the fourth one is to make sure that you're fit and able to work in these industries. Now, all four of those things you're able to do. If I can do them, you can do them as well. Now, you just got to make sure that you follow that stuff. And what not to do is not doing any of those things. Like not having a good job application, not having all the right things in place, the right tickets, not being in the right country, not being fit and ready for these jobs. They're going to set you back. You're going to have a job application and you'll go halfway through it, and then they won't even talk to you again because you've messed them around, or you've done something wrong, or you don't have the right things in place. Make sure you follow all of those things. That's your golden ticket to get into the mining industry. And that's what I use to help me get into the mines as well. Now, if there's any other questions or things that you have that you want to know down in the comments section, please put them and I will go through and we'll answer those questions. But if you follow these four things, you're pretty much good to go. You'll be able to get into the mines. And another little tip is making sure your job application, all of that is good, yes, but making sure you're doing those follow-up calls. You're calling up the companies and you're asking them, did you get my resume? Do you know my experience? What kind of jobs do you have? Keep following through with all of that and you'll be good. You'll be good to go. But any questions, drop them in the comments, and yeah, have a good day.